Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'd like to welcome Mitch Voit, selected with our first pick of tonight's draft. Mitch, congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
We're going to jump straight into questions. If you don't mind, please state your name and affiliation. Questions for Mitch.
Mitch Voit, affiliated with the New York Mets.
Very good. We'll start with Anthony.
Hey Mitch, congratulations. I guess going into tonight, did you have any idea of where you might go and what do you know about the Mets? Did you think they were a realistic possibility for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I began speaking to the Mets in our preseason meetings, and ever since then, every time I've spoken with them, it's always just been real, like great. Like you can see that we have a good relationship, and I did know that it was a possibility. Mainly, what I was hearing was it could be anywhere within that 30 to 50 range, and we're going to be um, finding out pretty quick here, and to keep my ringer on. But yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah. And just baseball wise, I know they announced you at the draft as a two-way player. Do you still consider yourself a two-way player, or are you focused solely on second base at this point?
Yeah, so our main focus, as we discussed, was mainly to develop me as a position guy. Um, but I will do absolutely anything to make it to the big leagues as a New York Met. So you can't rule anything out.
Thank you.
Great, we'll go with Mark.
Hey, Mitch, congratulations. We are kind of reading scouting reports on you right now, but I guess right to the source. What kind of player are you?
I'm a winner, plainly put. Do anything that it takes for the team to win. And I just go out there and love the game, enjoy the game, and play to win. And at the end of the day, I mean, that's my goal, and everything else falls in line.
Thank you.
Andrew Tredinick.
Hey Mitch, congratulations. Andrew at NorthJersey.com. I'm just curious, where do you kind of feel most comfortable as a position player? What position? Where did you break in? Obviously, you were a pitcher in high school, but where did you play around the diamond as a high schooler? And where do you feel kind of most comfortable at this point?
Yeah, I've been just about everywhere, especially through college. So I'm comfortable basically anywhere I have to be. But if I had to choose one, I'd be choosing second base.
And what do you think that versatility kind of adds to, kind of what you bring to the field and how you can kind of, in the minor leagues can kind of bounce around and, kind of fill in wherever as needed?
Yeah, I would say it helps me out a ton, but it helps whoever I'm playing for out a ton. Because there's always guys who can't necessarily move around. And so for me to be able to fill our team's needs in a spot where we don't have someone, I think brings great value and allows for our team to get that much better. And I think that's the biggest value of me being able to play everywhere.
All right, thank you.
Roger.
Hey, Mitch. Roger Rubin from Newsday. Mitch, in terms of like the way that the Mets organization has developed players, they've had some players who have been able to come up and play. What is your impression about the way that they've done with their development and contributing to the big league team?
Well, obviously, now that I'm going to be a part of it, I'm going to learn a lot more. And I mean, just working with them um, to see how I can become the best possible baseball player and contribute, um, I guess, the most to the Mets organization. That's what I'm looking forward to most, and I believe that what we have is going to get me there.
And Mitch, the profile of the Mets over the last few years has become really big. I mean, is it exciting to be a part of a team, an organization that, has is considered a contender annually?
Yes, and I love that. Um, they're winners. And I think I fit real good in with that kind of program and organization. That's where I like to be, and the competitiveness of the New York Mets just makes me that much more excited to be able to come here.
Mitch, any experience with New York?
Not much. I've been outside of it. I've seen the skyline, but I can't wait to learn a lot more.
Thanks very much.
Tony?
A couple more from me, Mitch. Anthony Tacoma, MLB.com. I don't think I introduced myself the first time. But just to follow up on that, what was that? Where were you just outside of the city?
Yeah, so my brother, um, he works out in Cedarburg, so we were at his apartment complex in Menominee Falls. They have this great venue where I could fit a ton of my family members and friends. So we all watched it there, and we were all gathered in Menominee Falls at the time.
And as a Whitefish Bay kid, have you ever had any meetings or brushes with Craig Counsell? Do you know him at all?
Yeah, so when I was in high school, and in Whitefish Bay, because originally I lived in Milwaukee for the first 14 years of my life, and then we moved. But yeah, I'm great friends with the councils, and they're honestly the one of the greatest families I've ever met. Um, just real good people.
But you say really good friends, like what is that relationship like?
Yeah, so Jack Council, he came and played at Michigan for a year, and I played a year of high school ball with him as well. And so I
Mhm.
was so excited, and I got to spend that whole year with him. I know his older brother Brady, and I've always seen their parents, Mr. and Mrs. Council, around. So like they're outstanding people.
Thank you.
Roger?
Hey, it's Roger from Newsday again. You mentioned that you started communicating with the Mets at preseason meetings. Can you give us an idea about like the time frame of that when you first communicated with them?
Yeah, so in the fall, um, typically a lot of area scouts come through and meet with your college team's prospects and maybe high school prospects as well. I don't necessarily know. But I remember my meeting with Chad, our area scout, and it was just outstanding from the jump.
Forgive me because Chad, what is Chad's last name?
Langley.
Langley. He's the scout who I guess we're going to give credit for finding you. Um, yeah, and when you have those first meetings, I mean, were you meeting with a huge number of different like teams, or were they one of a handful?
Typically, whoever's rolling through at the time or asking you to do a Zoom. Um, I mean, like, I'm not a scout, so I don't necessarily know how everything works, but I do know that I had a great meeting with Chad.
Very good. Thanks again.
Andrew?
I know you brought up the fact that you're a winner. As far as just kind of your tools on the field, what would you say your biggest strengths are, just from a playing perspective?
Yeah. Um, well, that's always hard to decide because I try and be the best at everything I possibly can. Um, but I'd say my biggest tool as a player, um, you could say, is the collection of all my tools. I have so many things that I use to help me win at any given moment. Whether it's the ability to just slow my heart rate down in a big situation and come through for the team, or whether it's always being a spark in the lineup or always being a lockdown defender out there. Um, and something that I got to showcase a lot more of this year was my ability to run the bases and use my speed to my advantage. That was something this year, especially, I was able to showcase more of.
Thank you.
Tony?
It's just one more quick one from me. Coming off that surgery that you had, were you surprised how quickly you were able to kind of not just get back in the mix, but really have the season that you had?
Yeah, so I got the internal brace, and basically my plan was rigorously follow my rehab plan so that I can come back healthy and also on time. Not try and be too fast with it and not try and make it take too long. And basically, the whole time I was timing myself up to be ready right before the season starts, to be game ready, to be out in the field. And everything just worked its way out. I mean, I was out there on the field day one, and that's all I could have asked for.
I know you said you'd love to keep open the possibility of pitching. Have you done anything like in that line of work since coming back from the surgery?
Um, I have not. Like I said, this year was a position focused year for me, and I think that's, or I know that's what attracted the Mets to me, was the potential as a position player. But I mean, like I said, whatever it takes. If that's what happens, that's what happens.